So whether you're new to minimalism or on a low buy year, or maybe just looking for ways to cut expenses and not allow clutter to come into your home, this video is for you because today I'll be sharing 25 items I am not buying this year. Let's get started. Okay, so number one is clothing. I just rehauled my entire wardrobe last year, bought some items I absolutely love. I have the basics. I have a couple items that are just fun and really my style that look good on me. So I am good with clothing this year. There is no need for me to buy any extra. Number two, the same thing goes for makeup. I have finally found what works for my skin. I have finally found the routine that I have down to like 3.5 to 4 minutes to apply every day. Bam, done. Works for my skin. I do not need to try anything to see if it works better than what I currently have because what I have works perfectly fine and there's no reason to spend more money and just to be disappointed anyway. So I will only buy makeup, which is my one rule I'm allowing myself to do. If the current items I use run out, I need to replace them. Number three is no impulse buying on Amazon. You know, before bed each night, you might scroll on Amazon, see what's new, just passing time away. You find an item you like, and you just impulse buy it. You're tired, you're exhausted. It's the worst time to be buying things anyway. We're not really in our right frame of mind. So I will not be doing that this year. Number four is throw blankets. I have an obsession with soft blankies. I love cuddling up with blankies. I do not need to add any more. We have a sufficient amount. Number five is similar, is decorative pillows. Now, I'm a huge fan of throw pillows. I like the squishy ones. I like to use them. If they're not useful, I don't like them. Number six is perfumes, body splashes. I have exactly what I need, what I like. I'm just going to use those completely up. Number seven is no new food items that we haven't tried yet or something that sounds good and is like a one-use recipe item. I'm not going to do that. I know what works for our family. I have simplified our meal planning and menu, and I'm just sticking with what works and keeping it to the bare minimum as far as items in the kitchen. I'm also not subscribing to any materialistic box subscriptions, such as I used to do those makeup box subscriptions, and although I found some makeup I liked over the course of a year, I had so many items I had to get rid of and makeup cases. It ended up being a huge waste of money and just brought so much clutter into our house. I have not done this in years, but I've seen things like perfume subscriptions. There's just so many subscriptions out there that make you think, oh, help me save money and whatever, but it really just brings so much clutter into your home. So I will not be doing any of those types of subscriptions. And speaking of subscriptions, the only magazine subscription I ever subscribed to is the Magnolia one by Joanna Gaines. I get 4 a year, and I actually do get a lot of value out of those, but that's the only type of subscription that I subscribe to. If you're new here, I'm Bethany, and here on YouTube, I love to inspire busy, working, overwhelmed mamas to slow down and live very intentionally while I show you how to simplify your life and home so you can reclaim your time, peace, and joy. Number 9 is no new cleaning products. I'm going to stick with what I use and know, and I have found, again, I guess this is what you do in your 30s. You find you've arrived, you found the products that you love, and you just really just stick to them. There's no need to change. I have got the best cleaning products right now. I have a great cleaning routine. My house stays clean. It smells fresh. It is fun. No more cleaning products for me unless I need to replace the current ones that I have for the same exact item. Same thing goes for kitchen gadgets. That's number 10. Keep what I have. I have found out what works in my kitchen. I know what utensils I need and love. And yeah, no kitchen gimmicks, no kitchen items, really. I think we are just completely set. The only thing I would say is if my husband, he did mention recently that he wanted us to buy some more medium-sized plates to replace the ones we currently have because we have only a few left. I would say no to this, but we'll see what he says. Coming in at number 11 are fantasy hobby items. I'm not going to be buying any fantasy hobby items because I want to make sure I fully love a hobby before I go and invest in the items. So I was thinking about picking up guitar this year, so I'm not going to go run out and buy a brand new one. We have one sitting around the house, and I'm going to see if I actually do it and learn how to play. And then if that becomes a hobby, it's something I love, maybe later down the road, I can buy a new one. But I'm not going to go out and just spend all this money on something I don't know that I'm not going to actually use. Number 12 is buying coffee out on a whim. Now, the only exceptions for this is if it's a planned date with someone, like going out to have coffee with a friend, or I need to go work out of the home and I want to use the facility and you have to buy something, I will, in that case, buy a cup of coffee. But it's not like I'm out shopping and I'm just grab a cup of coffee because it's a habit. I'm going to be very intentional and not buy coffee out and about on a whim. Besides, my coffee is way better. Coming in at 13 is a hard one for me, and it is no garden or outside decor. Last year, I had a lot of time during the summertime to decorate my yard and my back patio, and we bought some pretty furniture we invested in, and it's just oasis out there, at least to me, and I just do not need to buy anymore. Number 14 is no anti-aging, just no new skincare. I learned this the hard way a couple years ago. I thought I needed to switch up my routine because of wrinkles, and it ended up destroying my face, and it took 6 months to a year to fix it. So happy with what I currently have. Number 15 is I'm not buying new bedding. So unless something rips or it's an absolute need, I will not be buying new bedding, and I don't foresee anything like that happening this year. So I think we're good. I'm also not buying everything my kids want me to buy them. And this is a hard, especially as a mother, because when you're out and about with your children and they show you this item they really, really want and it's cool, it makes them feel more included in school and whatever. I just have a hard time ever saying no to that. So I'm just going to be a lot more intentional in saying no to those things this year, because that's really where my spending issues come from, is not being able to tell my children no. Number 17, I am not buying any more kitchen containers for food storage this year. I thought I needed some last year. What ended up happening is I ended up realizing that if I shop my house and just my kitchen, I can get really creative, and I just end up using mason jars and things I don't typically use, and that worked out amazing. Number 18, another thing I'm not going to be buying is any new furniture. I have barely ever bought new furniture for our home, and I have been married to my current husband for 11 years. We've bought very few new items, but the majority of the things have been given to us, or just kind of I repurpose some items, but we're good on furniture. There's no need to buy in to the consumerism of the most trending furniture or the next style or whatever. We are happy with what we have, and it's beautiful and it works. It was very inexpensive. Number 19 is a gym membership. I personally had a gym membership last year and had every intention to use it, but I just have to be realistic with myself. I don't like going to the gym. I'm also not buying any seasonal decorations. I typically have very minimal decorations anyway in my home, and a lot of them are just a vase or candles, and that's really it. I just don't like a lot of visual clutter, and I noticed when I used to do that, my home not only got more cluttered, but it also looked dated a lot faster and didn't look as classic. So I will not buy any seasonal clutter, but I'll be buying any seasonal decorations that are cluttery. 21 is fitness fads. I'm not buying into any fitness fads. Fallen for them in the past. I'm not consistent. They don't always work. So I'm just going to be trying to find out what actually works for me, what's sustainable. 22 is not eating out on a whim. Cannot be unplanned. It needs to be more methodically thought out. Maybe a date night, maybe an outing with a friend, not just an impulse. Number 23 is not buying the latest and greatest phone, but I typically just buy my phones outright, and they last about 2 to 3 years, and I have a budget for it. So unless my phone dies and I need to replace it, it will not be the latest and greatest expensive phone. I just don't find value in spending a lot of money on a brand new phone. So number 24 is we are not buying my husband a new truck. Currently has a truck that is high mileage and kind of just on its last legs. And we have decided that we can just go down to a 1-car family because we both work from the house and our kids really are about to start driving. And I have a couple already driving, so we don't need additional vehicles. We really need to save money and save space in our driveway. So the kids can get cars in the next couple of years, but my husband and I will be sharing a vehicle for the next few years. Number 25 is not buying my kids car insurance for them. I think it's a great thing to understand the repercussions of bad choices and how it affects the insurance. They have to pay all of that. So if they're driving, they have to have a job and they have to be able to pay for their own insurance. So there you have it. That is my 25 items I'm not buying this year. Let me know what you're not buying this year down in the comments. I'd love to hear all about it.